Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Enigmatica 6. How are you guys doing today? How's life? Today we are going to have a garbage episode, meaning that we are going to do random garbage around our base to make our lives a little bit easier. So basically today is going to be the day of random improvements. Everything that we are going to do in this episode are not going to be very fancy things and you guys probably know how they are going to work. But the thing is, instead of me doing everything off camera and then give you a report for like 15 minutes that I did these upgrades, it's better that we spend those 15 minutes and do the upgrades together. The first one is going to be Flux networks for transferring power around our base. This is the only recipe which has been changed in this mod pack, which I don't really get it, but instead of having a flux block, we need to have an ender gate from power, which for some reason also requires nitro energy cables. Doesn't make sense, I know. For some of you guys it might, for me it does not. I believe this is something that can be easily automated, but for the moment we just do it manually. Oh, my pick is very slow. So after setting up a bunch of recipes, I think we should be able to craft one. Ah yes, because we did not set a filter for the ender core. Oh, so for wireless charging you actually need a player transmitter from power. That is fine by me. If that is the price of wireless charging, we have to pay it. Right click? Yes. So after a bunch of crafting, we have the player transmitter and we should be able to make the Flux controller. I have literally done all of that just to be able to charge my wireless terminal. Good, I did manage to finally set it up and we have power. But in general, Flux points are not the worst. I kind of like them. Maybe we're going to substitute our quantum entangleporters. Also, I have a new problem with the energizing orb in power. When you order a ton of different things, this is what happens. And it literally only happens with blaze rods. I don't know. Am I doing something wrong? I think our next order of business should be to automate a little bit of industrial foregoing, mainly the fluids, pink slime, latex and aether gas. Cause you know, we have them hooked up to ender tanks, but we never had storage for them. I want to be able to store all the fluids inside black hole units. There's also a controller for it, but unfortunately it does require a supreme machine frame, which requires aether gas. So I am assuming the first thing that we have to start making is to make a stasis chamber. We need to juice the wither. The question is, where do we want it? Maybe up there? Yeah, why the hell not? I like watching the wither up there. One thing that I did not know is that the stasis chamber affects you as well. Look, I have slowness. So we do have the stasis chamber, it is fully powered, all we need is the wither. I hope it doesn't explode. I don't think I have ever used the stasis chamber for the wither. Anyways, let us get some wither juice. I kind of forgot, did you need a special laser? Oh, purple lens. Then you stop. Well, without any upgrades, this is garbage, but that's the whole point. We want to automate everything so that we can make upgrades. So this is refined storage and I'm not very good at it. Let us see if what I have in mind actually works. That is a fluid grid. And basically what I want to know is that if I have a black hole tank, and if I have an external storage attached to it, fill it in with something, I don't know, like lava, it's not going to be red on my fluid grid. Aha. Yeah, as you might have noticed, I have been playing for this for a while, and then I went to the wiki and realized yes, the external storage should work with tanks. The problem is, you have to change the type. So by default it's on items, and if you put it on items, it cannot read the tank. If you switch it to fluids, it can read it. And therefore yes, in my fluid grid, we have 9 buckets of lava. Perfect, then it works. At first I wanted to go with the black hole controller itself because you can stick in 16 black hole units inside and you can have access to all of your storage in literally one block. But I think this one looks nicer. We're going to go with 5 black hole unit tanks. Or 5 black hole tanks. No units. But you might also notice that I have also added water because in order to make some concrete and other recipes we also need water. But for symmetry purposes it also has a massive tank. Cause you know, otherwise it's just a sink. Anyways, let us get to the auto crafting part. Here is a dissolution chamber, and I want to know if I can make a simple machine frame. This one requires latex. Oh, gold gear. So now that I have the gold gear, it is calculating the latex. Will it work? Oh, that was interesting. And it didn't even screw up the slots. Aha, that is lovely. So I don't really trust it. What if I order 10? Will you screw up? No? Yeah, whenever it's crafting, it also tells you that the machine does not accept items. Ladies and gentlemen, we have no automation, it's just setting up patterns. That part of the plan is done, let us move on to the next one. Do we need more storage? Yeah, maybe. Make me 10. String. Okay. Well, we have a mob farm, we have plenty of string. Everything that we have done today and everything that we are going to do today and probably the first half of the next episode or for a greater plan, so we are doing everything in a sequence. Except the wireless crafting, because I just have to run around a lot and I needed to have wireless charging on my crafting grid. But with the wither juicer that you see over there, we have automated every single important fluid from industrial foregoing. We are storing those fluids in our refined storage system, and we are using it in auto crafting. And now that we have everything on auto crafting, the next part of the plan is going to be much easier. I really don't trust it. Do you still work? Oh, you do? Okay. I never had mob crushes on auto crafting. In every single mod pack that I play, I always have a manual mob farm where I can spawn the mobs that I want so that I can get the resources that I want. They're normally not automatic because we don't need that many of that resource. And this is 1.16, we have crazy enchantments, so yes, we don't need to spawn that many mobs. But in this mod pack there are two mobs that we really need. One of them is going to be wither skeletons, and the other one is going to be blaze. Of course, needless to say, we also have to find them. Hello! You come with me too, to the realm of darkness. Well, I did bring the mobs, but then I noticed that blue light. I put it just for lightning and I kind of like it. What if we change the entire background? It should look nice. Yeah, looks nice. So with the Ep12 screen that I always use in order to control my mob farms, I always get a lot of questions in the comments. So this time we're going to do it together so that in case you don't know, you will know. Well, at least you will know how I am doing it. Maybe it is not the correct way, but it does work. First off, I put the mob duplicators on redstone mode, run with a redstone signal, meaning that whenever you give it a redstone signal, it is going to spawn mobs. The next thing that we are going to need is a redstone receiver from Ep12's utility. So we have one for the wither skeletons, and here is one for the blazes. And of course, it's facing the incorrect way. Now it is correct. Now over at our own base in the control room, we are going to have a screen controller from Ep12. It does require power, so maybe we just put it over here. Then you're going to need a screen and you can put it wherever you want. I'm going to put it over here. And then you need to go back to your screen controller and scan. This guy on its own is not going to require any power because it is hooked up to the controller, which has power. Obviously, wirelessly. Then I have made some button modules and we're going to link it to the redstone receiver. This is going to be channel 27. Which is not very important, but this one will be 28. So 27 is going to be wither skeletons and 28 is going to be blazes. You just right click the buttons inside the screen, you hold sneak, right click on the screen, and you give it a title, for example in our case, wither skeletons. Of course, now this is a button. If you hold right click, go to the button options and press this one, now it is a lever. Oh, and if you want to make it transparent, you just right click with a wrench. Then you don't really have to have a black screen in your base. So theoretically speaking, the mob duplicator is now fully functioning and all it needs is some essence. So that one was for blazes. If I press the button for blazes, we should get some. Oh, we can't see it from here. I turn it off, but we should have at least one blaze. Yes. Hello. So that's basically how I'm making the spawners for every single mob farm that we have. Even the one we have over here where some people were slightly confused, but the system is exactly the same. It's a little bit cluttered, but you can see the ender tank, you can see the redstone receiver, you can see the mob duplicator, and at that time we did not have access to quantum entangler porters, so we are also generating power over here. Also, we want to have the range add-on of 1 for the mob duplicators, and for the mob crushers we're going to use range 2. So tier 1 for the mob duplicator is good enough because it will be a 3x3, and theoretically you need the same range for the mob crusher, but since I want to hide it behind the blue thingy, like so, therefore the range has to be slightly bigger. So the first chamber is done, we're getting wither skeletons, they should be crushed, yes, thank you, and we should be getting some skulls. Well, we are getting more fragments than skulls, but they can be converted. Oh, and by the way, that is Alf glass panes, they look nice. Everything is working fine, we have operational mob farms, and we are getting skulls, well not the skulls themselves, but the fragments at a very decent rate, as well as blaze rods. I had like 15 remaining, now we have 281. Too. So I'm relatively happy with this, we're doing good. But obviously now that we are farming skulls, that means that we need to also start farming the wither. I was checking what kind of wither-proof blocks we have in this mod pack, and there seems to be one from Engineer's Decor. It's kind of a confusing recipe, we first need to make concrete. Then we need to have a recipe for gas concrete, and then finally rebar concrete. Wait a minute, you can't understand how to make water buckets? Aha, I don't know, maybe we can use a fluid encapsulator. That should be easier. Now that I have set in the pattern, can we make 2 stacks? Thank you. It's just that it's not going to be super fast. Another question would be, how hard are you to mine? Not that bad. I personally do not want to see the wither bar whenever we are working, so we should put this far away from our base. That is our pneumatic area. So I don't know, maybe we put it here. What is that? Is there a wither here? Oh, did you run away? No? Maybe it is a glitch. Also, while we are here, can I kill you? Oh, they attack in groups. Okay, maybe not. So we want the wither killing chamber to have an internal of 3x3x4. You know, just in case he wants to glitch out. Another very important thing that I forgot to mention is that I want it to be controlled by our refined storage system. So we need some wireless terminals. It's not called terminals, it's network transmitter. We also don't have enough room in our base, so maybe we put them over here, cause I need more than one receiver. Oh, we can color them. Purple for the wither. Oh, that was the receiver. The transmitter should be purple. So I think the way that this guy works is that we need to have the receiver over here. We right click with the network card, and yes, it's linked. And if I put you inside the transmitter, okay, perfection. And just out of curiosity, how much power is it consuming? Because I also have one of them in the end. Where's the controller? Yeah, 5700, not the worst. So we also need to make a processing pattern for the wither. It needs 3 skulls and 4 soul sand. And the result is going to be 1 nether star. So you, my dear friend, you already have power because you're linked. We are going to have a wither builder in the center. And I just realized you're not symmetrical. But that is perfectly fine. We are never going to see it. How do I rotate you? I should really make a wrench for refined storage. We're good. Anyways, you're going to get the pattern for the nether star and we should be good to go. Oh, and the wither builder needs power. I forgot. Another thing that I want to do is that I want to set a timer for the crafter itself because we don't want to spam the withers. We want them every like, I don't know, 15 seconds? 15 seconds is 300 ticks. I think. Redstone signal locks auto crafting. Redstone pulse inserts the next set. I think that's the one we want. So let us see if we can craft some nether stars. Okay. Oh, do you know what I forgot? A mob crusher. Why did he die? Oh no, he's alive. You get a range add-on and you should kill him. Yes, thank you. So the only thing that we have to do is that we need to extract the nether stars and put them inside an ender chest. We're good. We have nether stars on auto crafting. Can we order 10? For testing purposes. I just don't know if 15 seconds is enough. Seems to be okay. No, I don't think 15 seconds is good. Yep. There is your problem. Because you know, the problem is that it's going to place down the blocks before the wither is dead. And then it should clog up the system, which is not very good. Okay, I had to cancel the craft, but you see the problem. We don't want this to happen. So I don't know, maybe 25 seconds, because the only reason that we want nether stars is to make nitro equipment from power. And honestly speaking, we don't need it that much. So let's order, I don't know, 10 more? Oh, we're out of skulls. But it is perfectly fine, we have plenty of fragments. Okay, that worked. Yeah, plenty of time. And you see, there is no garbage inside. We might as well try to keep the essence. Yep, there you go. We're good. Also, meanwhile, I need some slime balls. I don't really have a farm for it, so this is the only source of slime balls that we have. It seems to be working flawlessly. Cause you know, we're not even there. We're like 300 blocks away. We have done everything that you saw today, just for one thing. Power. And a lot of power. We are probably going to go with 9 of these nitro reactors, but when we have this much power, we also need a means of storing it. In this mod pack there are not that many ways of storing power, except the induction matrix from Mechanism, which I am assuming it still needs some lithium dust. Yes, that is true. Which again I'm assuming nothing has changed. We need a crazy amount of steel, 2500 should do, and I completely forgot where it is. Oh, it's here, okay. Anyways, we need thermal evaporation blocks. That is probably too many because we don't need that much. And since this is our base and has a magical theme to it and we're going to put magical stuff over here, maybe we start our industries from here, so that we don't see them that much. Also, a thermal evaporation tower, like any other multi-block structure in Mechanism, can be 18 blocks high, but we don't want that much lithium, so we're not going to go full way. I personally think that 10 blocks should be more than enough. And I just wanted to make a confession, I have no idea if that was 10 blocks. Because I didn't count. Yeah, it's not even 10 blocks, it's like 8. I also wanted to go with resistive heaters, but maybe we go with solar panels. Oh no, we can't. This one is not going to work. It's fine, we go with resistive heaters. One very important thing that you guys keep telling me is that whenever you have a resistive heater, you can just put it right next to the valve. But as usual, I'm going to ignore your comment and I'm going to use a thermodynamic conductor. I don't really know, just to annoy you. a bit. So you guys already know the drill. We have 2 thermal evaporation towers. One of them is going to require water, which we're going to provide it using a sink, and with the heat from our resistive heater, it's going to take that water and it's going to give us brine, the fluid, not the person. Brine, the fluid, goes through a mechanical pipe to the other thermal evaporation tower, if you extract it, and the other one is going to take the heat and is going to give us liquid lithium. And as usual, this is definitive proof that brine has a fluid form, because it's in a mechanical pipe. You can't put a person inside the mechanical pipe. I'm assuming the rest is going to be easy peasy. We need to extract the lithium, we need to put it inside a rotary condensator, which I think we put it back here. And yes, you are facing the correct way, which should put it inside a chemical crystallizer, which is not facing the correct way. Are we good? No? Auto eject on. No? That was facing the incorrect way. Fine. So you take lithium, you convert it into a gas, you take the gaseous lithium, and you're going to give us lithium dust, which at the end of the day just goes inside an ender chest. Auto eject on. Are we good? Are you facing the incorrect way? After a lot of rotations, I think we're good. Yes. I think for an ultimate induction cell we need 512 lithium dust. So even at this rate it should be fine. We will just upgrade the machines. We don't need to upgrade the thermal evaporation towers. Yeah, it's keeping up. Okay. While we are getting some lithium, let us make some reactors. You need 36 for one, we need 9, we already have one of them, so we want 8. So I need 288 reactor blocks. Oh, we're missing lava. And wither skeleton skulls. Here is your recipe for skull. And of course we need more wither skeletons. You also need a recipe for lava. And we just do it inside this fluid encapsulator. So now can I make 288? Oh, we're missing so many. Okay, we go with half the amount, 144. You need so much nether stores. Okay, this could take a while. But on a positive note, everything is automatic, so I don't have to do anything. While the reactor is getting ready, I just wanted to address something. Some of you guys were not happy with my ore generation setup or the ore processing setup. I am going to fix it probably next episode, not today. We have other priorities. I am going to make it based on your comments, don't worry. So I made 10 storage parts. I didn't put them inside the disk. Why? Oh, you only take 8. Jerk. So now in order to keep everything symmetrical, I need 4 more. And I don't have enough sand. You see, these are our priorities. Things that we don't have. What is going on here? Aren't they going to cause a crash? Lag? Something? I don't know, I just want some sand. Oh, we already have 315 lithium dust. It's not being added at this very moment because I don't think it's chunk loaded, but maybe I should set in the patterns. That is Orbiter. Don't worry. We don't really have a stoneworks factory, so I have problems with sand, cobblestone, stone, gravel, and you know, these kind of stuff. So maybe that should be our priority for the next episode. Because you know, I just realized I need so much glass for the induction cells. And also it was not 512 lithium dust, it was 256. And so far we are progressing. This craft is already done, but very slowly. I have already managed to make 1 induction provider and we need 1 induction cell as well. That has the capacity of 1.6 trillion RF. Amazing. But here is another point. We need to set up a reactor room, and for that we are also going to use another network transmitter. And since it's power, it's going to be line. And I think our reactor room is going to be over here. 9 of them on the wall. It's just that the cabling is going to be horrible. So at first I told you that we are going to have 9 reactors from power, but I think we are going to go with less, because I do have a design in mind for this room, and if we have 9 of them it's not going to fit. Essentially what I want to do is that I want to have a row of reactors on this side and another row on this side. And I do have a stupid plan in the center. So the main point is that I'm not exactly sure if 9 of them are going to fit. So what I have in mind is something like this, but that is just only half of it because that's the amount of reactors that I can make. Oh, you're wrong. Yeah, I need to raise you by 1 block. Now you should be good. I'll tell you what, since I'm not exactly sure how I want to design this room and I really want to do it properly, I think it's a good time to wrap up the episode for today, so that next episode I will have a fresh mind. But generally speaking, we actually have everything, even the induction cells. So for me, that was a decent amount of progress. Hello Dr. Rage. How are you today? And with that, ladies and gentlemen, I think it's also a good time to wrap up the episode. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. Till the next one. Bye bye.